talking about this issue of the electric utility and the business model being somewhat archaic given the needs of today. It's been traditionally distribution and generation company, and now we have all these independent power producers, wind farm developers, and solar companies. Are you suggesting that, as has been suggested by other people, that the Hawaiian Electric Company's business model has to change or evolve in some way? There has been some talk about separating distribution from generation and having them only be the distributor. Well, is that something that you could take a role in, and if so, in terms of?
Well, I think it's an important question for us to start to wrap our minds around. But a couple of things. First, the piece that I wrote talked about the Public Utilities Commission being an old model, not the utility. But what you said is actually, it equally applies to the utility itself, which is that we're transforming from an old energy economy to a new energy economy. What you want to do is try to make that transformation, as aggressively as possible without causing so much disruption that you're either hitting people in the pocketbook or you're actually disabling the economy in the meantime. But the question of what is the utility's business model, is it a fossil fuel generation and distribution transmission company, or is it a clean energy transmission and distribution company, and what role does it have in generation, I think is one that the Commission and policymakers are going to have to wrestle with over time. I don't think this is the right time for us to address that issue squarely, because frankly I think our primary focus right now ought to be on getting projects launched, because all of those are theoretical concerns. It's sort of like, this is a little off topic, but the people who talk about the food versus fuel question, that's a theoretical concern. There are not too many current landowners and farmers who are trying to decide whether they're going to do a viable fuel project or a viable farm project. And so I think what you're talking about, what's the business model for the utility, is important, but we don't have the opportunity to have that conversation until this 300 or 400 megawatts of clean renewable power actually gets implemented. And then we've got a real conversation to have about what is the model for our electric utility.